Wakuraiwe. As you can hear, guys, good evening, good evening. Just a quick one with me, and well, I can speak in English. I can also do it in Shona, but unfortunately, you know, the real reality that we are facing now is there are people growing up in diaspora. We call it diaspora. It sounds very chic. It sounds very, but it's also in the same sense very poor, because there are a lot of people growing up without our culture, without our languages, without the type of food that we grew up with. We're kind of struggling in the diaspora, living with people that we were not supposed to grow up with, but we have to cope, because the cultures are very different. So Magadi, how are you? I hope everybody's okay. I find you well. So I know I have to say names and say, how are you, this person and the other person, but this audio is going to stay for next year again, and will be watched by so many people, and your names will still be said in the same video. So that's why I'm no longer addressing who is watching, but I'm seeing you. Thank you so much for being here. A quick one means just 5 minutes. There are so many things that have been troubling me the last few nights, watching the moon and seeing things around the moon and thinking what's going on. But then, sometimes the answers, they really come later, sooner or later, and then you see some things happening, and then things that you can't have a hand on, things that you can't touch, and things that you cannot change, unfortunately, because you know what people say, upenyu imindu pindu. It's very difficult to translate that one, but if you know, you know. And of course, life is full of mysteriousness. So that's what we also can say. I think there are people who say, especially in Europe, when people say God for us, or each for himself, each for herself, they really mean that. And it's not that we have to follow what European people come up with as concepts. But some of these things we know when you move to diaspora, that sometimes you're on your own. You're no longer with your family. You're no longer with your ancestors. You're no longer with your, your elders, people who you grew up with, and whom you would want to fall back to when you are facing some certain troubles, problems that may lead you to the police station, may lead you to jail, may lead you to deaths, may lead you to divorce. So many things that you can come across, even at work, that you can lose your job. But when you have somebody around you, like family, like auntie, the sister of your dad, somebody who when Sikanema Gariro were used to be followed back home, at least those people were going to help you to survive and be humble yourself. So I have to say, some of these things have changed because we moved from far away from our home. And what can we do now? We have been talking about it in different platforms. Some groups have existed. They are still existing. Some are going to exist. People are sharing stuff. But are we practicing it? That's the thing. Especially practicing something that you share, something that you think it's crucial. Practicing something that you think you can set on your timeline and teach others, something that you can share in a group. Even if you create a group, you're a poet, you are Mbira, Gwenyambira, you make lyrics and you think you're going to share the message that you are getting. Is that being brought into practice? Are people bringing it into practice? Those are the questions that we're supposed to ask ourselves today, the day of today. And who is the Gwenyambira? And what does he do? Is he the kind of a person who is selling beer to Arungu and that's all? Or are they working together and they are building something? Are they building our heritage? Are they maintaining it or not? Some of these questions you should be asking yourself if you're somebody who really care about yourself. When you care about yourself does not mean you're forgetting that caring about yourself is also caring where you come from. So you don't necessarily have to mention your country, or you don't necessarily have to keep on mentioning anything about politics, but sometimes caring about ourselves, knowing what we eat, knowing what to put on as clothes. So that's culture already. That's practicing culture. Because if you know, oh, there's somebody who's putting something in the meat, and you don't buy it, you don't eat it, you have to select, you have to find out where the meat is coming from. And then you then buy and eat, because you know what you want to put into your body. So that has nothing to do with anyone else than you taking care of yourself. So those things that we're talking about at the moment are very crucial from day to day. Those are the things that we're supposed to practice. We can point fingers on some of these things, but what you put into your body, what you eat is very important. Who vaccinates you? What is it that they are vaccinating you? And what is it that you are giving to your own children? What is it that you're giving to your wife, to your husband? What are you eating? It's not crazy to think about those things the day of today, isn't it? So a warning should come, and a warning should be taken serious, and you should really take it into consideration to practice things that you know you've been learning from. Yes, we are busy at social media. It's very nice that we meet, and we meet to part, we part to meet, and it's very important when we meet, we learn something from each other. And it's very important when we meet, we actually teach each other something that's very crucial. By failure to do so, that's okay. You don't have to feel guilty that you are not coming up with very important information. You're being there for somebody. You're being so I give an example for a country like Zimbabwe. You are there as a Zimbabwean with somebody, and you can laugh in your own language. That's already being there for somebody. That's already being there for each other. I think that's important as the best. And when we go to competition and things like hurting each other, hurting each other's feelings, laughing at each other when you know that somebody's being hurt, those are the things that you know we should actually learn from each other, how to deal with that. Because being away from your own roots, it's not an easy thing. It's not easy. Because I even say to Dutch people, look, you've been cycling here for years. You were born at 3, at 4, you were learning to cycle. And suppose you go to a country where you never cycle anymore, but you know that one day you used to do the same. And I give such examples to people who live in Europe, that you know how it feels for somebody to come to Europe and they start to struggle learning a language, start to struggle getting used to the weather, and starting to get a job, and starting to raise money so they can go back to their own countries. Those things are very painful to even talk about them today. So we have to keep focusing. Those are the things that I want to say. Because you know what? In this time of a lot of information on internet, in this time of a lot of books that you can buy in the shops, a lot of information that is being put there. I'm one of the people who put a lot of information. You need to stay focused and not to be ignorant. There are so many things that we can do to survive. There are so many things that we can do to there are so many things that we can do at least to save ourselves and then save others. Because if we have not been eating, or if we have not been laughing, or if we have not been taking better care of ourselves, we can't take better care of other people. Anyway, I'm saying that I'm running away from my time. And thank you so much for what I have said. And I just wanted to take that out of my chest. I know a lot of other people will be expecting me to say something else today. Those things I have said already by other people. Everybody has got their own part. I think we take our time, we take our part, we do that. And thank you so much. My name is Melissa Budin from the Netherlands. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching. And you should know, whatever people do on internet and share information and write something, it means they care. So it's not everybody who is paid for what they do. I'm not paid for what I do, but I know that whatever I share with everybody, it's very important that they at least gain some information. I gain some gratefulness from people, and at the same time I learn from other people on how they respond. So thank you so much. The song in the background is from Thomas Mapfumo Magariro. So if you want to listen to the song, you can just hear it. Has beautiful lyrics, and it means exactly what I'm saying as well. So Mama Fumo knew what he was singing, and a lot of artists know exactly what they do. So listen to the lyrics, and you hear and you see the day of today what's happening in the world. You are the one who can change what's happening. We are because you are. You are because we are. That's what they call Hunu, Ubuntu, Abantu, and Titika. Take care. Love you guys. Bye bye.